Are you a serial killer?
Yes.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most spellbinding television series that many viewers don't realise first originated as books.
I think if you went high enough, you'd probably find we work for the same people.
Number 10. The Fall of the House of Usher. The Fall of the House of Usher and Other Works by Edgar Allan Poe.
The company is the family, and we expect each of you to defend it with your life. And if anyone comes after us, we will exhaust our arsenal until the threat's neutralized.
The famously macabre writer and poet Edgar Allan Poe may have died in 1849, but his legacy endures through the many adaptations his work still receive today. One example is Mike Flanagan's Netflix miniseries, The Fall of the House of Usher, which many may not realize was actually based on Poe's short story of the same name.
Your father feels that this has to come from outside the family.
It's the opposite. It's exactly the opposite. He's wrong, because Perry Usher died horribly last night in a preventable accident.
However, instead of a direct adaptation, the series reimagines Poe's gothic world through a modern lens. The Usher family is portrayed as a wealthy, corrupt pharmaceutical empire whose members are killed off one by one until the entire dynasty crumbles.
And in case you haven't noticed, Morella's in the hospital, Prospero is dead, and Camille is dead. So save the static until I figure out what the is going on, and until then, I don't care if Madeline tells you to fart into a microphone.
The show is chock full of references to Poe's works, with episode titles taken from his short stories and its characters being named after some of his most iconic figures. Number 9. Friday Night Lights. Friday Night Lights, A Town, a Team and a Dream by H.G. Bissinger.
Expect you boys to play football.
Yes, sir.
Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose.
Before becoming the NBC sports drama we know today, Friday Night Lights lived many lives. It began as a 1990 non-fiction book that chronicled the 1988 football season of the Permian High School Panthers in Odessa, Texas. Then it was adapted into a movie. Although the director Peter Berg wasn't thrilled about cutting off characters and storylines to fit time constraints.
Being perfect is about being able to look your friends in the eye and know that you didn't let them down.
With a TV show, however, he got the leeway to fully develop the themes he wanted to explore. While the book is centered around the real-life Odessa, the series takes creative liberties by setting the story in the fictional town of Dillon and introducing original characters and storylines.
J.D. McCoy's a freshman.
Yeah, but he broke state records when he was in middle school. And since you're in a rebuilding year anyway, it makes sense.
We're not in a rebuilding year. No, we're not in a rebuilding year.
Nevertheless, it remains faithful to the book's core themes, showing how high school football can come to define small towns. Number 8. True Blood. The Southern Vampire Mysteries by Charlaine Harris.
I'm sorry you had to witness that. Your visit was unexpected.
HBO's hit fantasy horror show True Blood first breathed life as The Southern Vampire Mysteries, a book series written by best-selling author Charlaine Harris. Both follow Suki Stackhouse, a telepathic waitress in a rural Louisiana town, who becomes entangled with vampires after the invention of synthetic blood allows them to live openly among humans.
Hi, what can I get for you tonight?
Do you have any of that synthetic bottled blood?
No, I'm so sorry.
True Blood kicks off with the same framework as the book series, but it quickly carves its own darker, bloodier path. The show greatly expands on the original story, developing numerous subplots and preserving characters like fan favorite Lafayette, who dies early in the novels.
I ordered the hamburger deluxe.
In this restaurant, a hamburger deluxe comes with french fries, lettuce, tomato, mayo, and eggs.
As the series progresses, it cranks up the gore and erotic content to make a show that ultimately feels much different from its source material. Number 7. You. You by Caroline Kepnes. Books are a recurring motif in this Netflix psychological thriller series. The main character, Joe Goldberg, is a bookstore manager who becomes dangerously fixated on the women he likes and sometimes uses the store to imprison his victims.
Benji was the worst kind of poison. The kind you know is bad but can't stop taking. So I did what I had to do to help you, Beck. And now there's an adult human male in the basement of this bookstore.
But the series' connection to literature runs deeper, as it is based on Caroline Kepnes's 2014 novel of the same name. Season 1 closely mirrors the book, focusing on Joe's obsession with Guinevere Beck and the extreme measures he takes to infiltrate her life.
Aren't you going to tell me to have a nice day?
You have a nice day, Beck.
You have one yourself, Joe.
Although Kepnes has since written multiple sequels, the show gradually diverges from her work in subsequent seasons. The most notable difference, though, is how it softens Joe's character, making him more introspective and at times more sympathetic than his literary counterpart.
That's not what I'm saying. Huh? What I'm hearing is that you would really like some alone time, so I'm going to go take Henry and let you work in peace.
Number 6. Shogun. Shogun by James Clavell. If the sprawling saga in Shogun feels all too real, it's because much of it is actually rooted in history. The critically acclaimed FX series follows John Blackthorne, an English sailor shipwrecked in 17th century Japan, who is taken under the wing of the powerful lord Yoshi Toranaga.
I cannot conceive of being an enemy to you, Lord.
The show is an adaptation of the 1,100-page novel written by James Clavell in 1975, which itself was a dramatized retelling of the real historical events. Blackthorne is based on real-life English navigator William Adams, who arrived in Japan in the 1600s and became a samurai under the feudal lord Tokugawa Ieyasu, the inspiration for Toranaga.
そなたにあの者を止める術があればよいのじゃが、あの者が恐れておるのは吉井虎長という名ではなく、そなたの血筋、そなたに流れている箕輪の血を恐れておるのじゃ。
The show builds on Clavell's novel, retaining the elements that made it a hit while giving more narrative weight to the Japanese characters.
I would advise against speaking out of turn. Oh, and you will please address me as Mariko-sama.
Number 5. Killing Eve. Codename Villanelle by Luke Jennings.
Are you alright?
Between 2014 and 2016, British author Luke Jennings released 4 ebook novellas that were later combined into a single novel titled Codename Villanelle. This novel formed the basis for the hit spy series Killing Eve, starring Sandra Oh and Jodie Comer. The show revolves around a cat and mouse game between an intelligence officer and an assassin who are locked in a dangerous battle of wits.
I know you're a psychopath.
You should never tell a psychopath they are a psychopath. It upsets them.
The first season, which was written by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, uses Jennings' book as a springboard before taking the story down a more complex and darkly comedic direction. Following the show's success, Jennings published 2 sequels, Killing Eve No Tomorrow and Killing Eve Die For Me, although plot-wise they have little in common with the TV adaptation.
Because you will never understand how much harder it is to be nice and normal and decent than it is to be like you.
Like us, you mean.
Number 4. Dexter. Darkly Dreaming Dexter by Jeff Lindsay.
Blood. Sometimes it sets my teeth on edge. Other times it helps me control the chaos.
In its original run, this crime drama series lasted 8 seasons on television, consistently earning some of the highest ratings in Showtime's history. The titular character, Dexter Morgan, is a forensic blood spatter analyst for the Miami Metro Police who moonlights as a vigilante serial killer, targeting other murderers who have escaped justice.
Did you kill all these people?
I did.
Dexter premiered in 2006, but the mysterious character was first introduced 2 years earlier in Darkly Dreaming Dexter, a novel by author Jeff Lindsay and the first in his crime thriller series. The first season is a close adaptation of the first novel, but later seasons completely ignore the events of the subsequent books, allowing the show to develop its own unique tone.
I wish there was another way. You're all I have left.
Number 3. House of Cards. House of Cards by Michael Dobbs.
He made allies out of enemies. It's a very valuable thing in Congress. I wish I could give you something juicier, but the shipyard closing was just politics as usual.
The Netflix series House of Cards has been praised by political insiders for its realistic portrayal of the cutthroat world of US politics. But surprisingly, the show's roots lie not in America, but in the UK. It was adapted from the 1989 novel of the same name by British author Michael Dobbs, which was first turned into a BBC miniseries in 1990. The original story follows Francis Urquhart, a cunning Conservative Party whip who schemes his way to power after being passed over for a promotion.
Well, between the two of us, he's a bit of a liability. Alcohol problem, debts everywhere. And when he's had too much to drink, he's not too sure of his sexual orientation.
Netflix's Adaptation relocates the story to Washington, D.C. and reimagines its lead character as Frank Underwood, an equally ambitious figure determined to reach the White House, with his wife Claire firmly by his side.
That's right. We don't submit to terror. We make the terror.
Number 2. MASH. MASH, a novel about 3 army doctors, by Richard Hooker.
You are a moral degenerate.
Me? A moral degenerate? Santa Claus?
One of the most popular shows in television history actually began as a 200-page novel by a former military surgeon. MASH, a novel about 3 army doctors, written by H. Richard Hornberger under the pen name Richard Hooker, drew from his real-life experience as a mobile army surgical hospital doctor during the Korean War.
Hey, we got a special this week. You take a pint of blood, and we give you 6 free highball glasses to break easily. Give me a bottle of your best stuff, Ginger.
It was first made into a film in 1970, starring Donald Sutherland, Elliot Gould, and Robert Duvall. When plans for a second film based on the book's sequel fell through, producers instead settled on developing a TV show, which premiered on CBS in 1972. This version became a massive success, masterfully incorporating dark humor into its stark portrayal of the grim realities of war.
I move that we take the role, and then if somebody's not here, he's probably someplace else, in which case the record should show it. Unless, of course, the person making the record isn't here. Thank you, Pierce.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Sex and the City. Sex and the City by Candice Bushnell.
Why are there so many great unmarried women and no great unmarried men? I explore these sorts of issues in my column, and I have terrific sources, my friends.
Carrie Bradshaw is a fictional newspaper columnist from Sex and the City that we all came to know and love over 6 seasons on the HBO series. But the character is actually based on a real person, Candice Bushnell. Between 1994 and 1996, Bushnell wrote a column of the same name for the New York Observer, chronicling her romantic experiences and those of her single friends.
Then what happens, of course, is many women who have the Sex and the City years end up having a family. They find their Mr. Big or their Mr. Aiden, and they have children.
Bushnell's columns were later compiled into a 1996 book, which then served as the basis for the HBO show. Darren Star's TV adaptation significantly expands the scope of the story with fresh characters and plot lines, but it retains several key figures from Bushnell's columns, including Carrie, her close-knit circle, Miranda, Samantha, and Charlotte, as well as Mr. Big.
Most men I meet are flashing yellows.
Or off duty. They can drive around for years picking up women and not be available.
Then they really shouldn't be allowed to get behind the wheel.
Which books would you like to see adapted into TV shows in the future? Let us know in the comments below.
You go ahead.
Come on. We earned this together.
Take a few moments for yourself first. I'll be out here.